Welcome to Recovery TV Live. Today we're going to talk about how to respond to gaslighting, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Recovery TV Live. Today we're going to talk about gaslighting, but particularly how to respond to it. But before we get into that, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel and don't forget to ring that bell so that you can be notified when more videos like this are posted. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to respond to gaslighting behavior when you encounter it. We did a couple videos on this before, and one of them particularly was how to stop a gaslighter. And it would probably be worth your time to go back and watch those videos, because what we're wanting you to pay attention in these examples that we give are two main things, and that is, one, to trust your gut, and two, recognize that your feelings matter no matter what. So the reality is that gaslighting takes many forms, and we hope to cover those in future videos, but for the sake of this video, we're going to talk about three of those. One is called unabashed denial, the second one is partner blaming, and the third one is playing the victim.
What we've noticed is that once clients have started building their awareness of gaslighting behavior, they're often then left with that question, what do I do about it? And so that's kind of the purpose of this video, is to give you some prompts and things to think about when faced with these three types of gaslighting behaviors. We want people to not just freeze in the moment once they're aware of it, but to be able to move through it. It's a big part of trauma recovery, of betrayal trauma recovery in particular. And so we're going to talk about some things you can do. Those things may sound simple, but we're going to continue to share about why it may be simple but not easy.
Absolutely. So we have a scenario we're going to give you, and this scenario will be our scenario for all three types, and then we're going to present a gaslighting behavior and then how to respond to it. And so here's the scenario. So the scenario is that the betrayed partner has once again found unexplained phone numbers on the phone record. And so, rightfully so, they're going to bring that to their partner because, remember, they have already been betrayed once or maybe even multiple times. And so they bring this discrepancy to their partner to address it. And that would be expected. We would encourage that with the betrayed partners that we work with. Okay. So let's start with unabashed denial, and then we'll show you what it might look like to respond to that.
For example, the betrayed partner finds a phone number or two that are unexplained on the phone record and brings it to their partner and says, look what I found. Can you tell me what this is all about? Unabashed denial would look like,
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do that.
That kind of denial or stonewalling behavior is supposed to leave the betrayed partner perplexed, unsure of what to do, and kind of give up, right? That's the intent of that gaslighting behavior. And it's really hard to work through that response because you're going to have probably a trauma trigger when you experience that denial. What we would encourage at that point is for you to be able to identify it and then respond through it with some kind of statement like, maybe you don't know what that is, but let's take a look at it because this is a number I don't recognize.
So if you recognize in Carrie's response that you can see that she trusts her gut and she's recognizing that her feelings matter despite what the truth is. He may truly not know what those numbers are or who they belong to. But that doesn't change the reality that the partner is having these feelings related to them. And so because the feelings exist, they are worth talking about. Secondly, when we're talking about a normal response to somebody who's concerned, someone we love is having a legitimate concern, we usually don't just dismiss it and hope to walk away. If somebody's accusing me of something, or at minimum they're just hurt by something or confused by something, my response should be, let's look at these numbers and we'll figure it out. I don't think I did that or called those numbers, but we'll get it figured out. Let's go look at them.
Right. The key really is for this opportunity to be something where both partners are attending to the wound, attending to the feelings, and giving them the medicine and the care that they need. Deny or pretending that it's not there, that there's not a concern, that there's not a history, that there's not a wound, is not going to help that coupleship move forward and heal from the original betrayal.
So now let's look at another example, partner blaming. So I'm going to be the partner in this situation, and I might go to my partner in question and say, can you explain these numbers on this bill? I don't recognize them. Who do they belong to? Maybe I'm a little defensive, a little bit on edge, but that's okay given the injury that I've dealt with as someone who's been betrayed.
Why are you looking at the phone record? Don't you trust me? Haven't we moved forward? I thought we agreed that we were going to put the past in the past.
So when it comes to partner blaming, remember the gaslighter doesn't want to be found out. They're really not trying to hurt anybody. They just don't want their secret to be discovered. If they can convince you that it was your fault, then that's going to help them keep their secret. Now, one of the conundrums is that people that have been gaslighting for so long, there might not be a secret to keep, but they still respond this way because they're just so used to it when they experience anger or defense or aggression from their partner. So this is how I would respond to that. Well, first of all, given the history, I don't trust you completely yet, but that's not what this is about. There's something awry or amiss on this record, and I'd like to figure it out so that I can trust you.
Again, that response sounds simple, but it's very, very difficult. Because in that moment, you have to be able to trust your gut. You have to validate your feelings that something amiss is going on and needs to be recognized, and it has to be addressed in the couple relationship. It can't just be something that either one of you talk your way out of or convince your way out of. And when you are able to say what Josh just said, you're able to come back to the focus, right? Which is, this is something that feels important, and let's again attend to that.
Right. Let's do one more. So this is a common one we experience with the unfaithful partners that we're working with, and that is playing the victim. So here's what that might look like. You're right, I'm just a piece of shit. Your life would be better without me.
That kind of response is another real challenge for the betrayed partner to respond to, because there's a victim role that's being played along with a sprinkle of abandonment, right? And so again, this is a big challenge, and this can be something that you need to work on in your responses. But some kind of response to that and being able to identify playing the victim, hearing that sprinkle of abandonment, and come back to the point, right? Which the point of it is, we're not talking about leaving today. I'm talking about this concern that came to me, and I'd like to address it.
Right. And so I think you could also even take it a step further to say that what you're doing right now is not okay. Because this is a type of exploitation that is very painful and hurtful when you have a legitimate concern and then you're made to think that you're the one actually hurting the person who has hurt you, not hurting them at all.
Right.
So you can take that extra step to say, and this behavior is not okay with me.
It's not okay, and even at an easier level, it's not helpful.
Right.
Playing the victim in that moment is not going to help the couple move forward. And to be able to stand firm and be assertive and clear about that, again, the line sounds simple, but the act is hard in and of itself.
Mm-hmm. So we hope that these tips help you in your journey of recovery and of betrayal trauma. But remember, we want you to be thinking about, despite how you respond to gaslighting behavior, is to do it in a way where you trust your gut and you recognize that your feelings matter despite what the truth is. And what I mean by that is that our feelings are true in that they're really happening to us, but what they communicate to us about what might be happening might not be true. But that's just understanding as being the result of something and not the reality of something. And so because they're the result of some type of behavior, they're worth talking about, period, no matter what the actual situation is.
And it's important to connect to that when you take those bold risks of bringing your concerns to your partner when you're recovering from a betrayal trauma. It takes a lot of self-integrity and confidence in self to bring that, but that's a real brave step forward in your recovery.
So we appreciate you guys being here. If you like these videos, please subscribe to our channel, ring that bell, and we'll see you back here next time.
Thank you.